Hi, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Zach.
And welcome to Reviews in the Park. We just got out of seeing Fantastic Four, and
This is a public service announcement. It's hazardous to your health. Do not go see it.
yeah, it's a big waste of 100 and so minutes.
Yeah.
We really wanted to like this. I mean, the last two Fantastic Four movies that have been publicly released anyway in the theaters have not really hit the mark, and that tradition continues, Fox.
The ones from 2005 are better than this one, and Roger Corman's is actually better than all of them. And that one was never supposed to see the light of day.
Ooh. Maybe someday we'll finally have Marvel take over and we'll finally get that true Fantastic Four movie.
Well, that's the thing about this movie, is that it feels like it was basically just made because Fox was panicking and they didn't want to lose the rights to Marvel, so it ends up being an intellectual property pissing contest.
Let's explain to you why we feel this way. I mean, if you go online, I mean, we can't know for sure what's true and what's false with all these accusations, but you can tell that there was some conflict between the studio and the director on this movie.
A lot of it.
It feels so out of place, the pacing, the editing.
Junk, just in general. Like, even the genres don't feel like they match up.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, don't take kids to this. There are, like, legit horror moments in this movie.
I was, like, taken aback. It was I've heard some people compare this to The Fly.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's got some very awesome, if that's what we were aiming for, but Fantastic Four is one of the most lightest-hearted, campy comic book properties, and they totally made it into an 80s horror flick.
Oh, yeah.
At times.
Definitely. It needs to have something more along the vein of, you know what, almost Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You know what?
If you take out all the bad stuff from Amazing Spider-Man 2 and you make it more like Amazing Spider-Man 2 in that it's bright and cheerful and funny, and it has those good romantic quality like aspects to it, but then it also has the good action aspects to it. That's really what one of these movies needs. It needs to be fun and whimsical with a sense of danger, and this didn't even have a sense of danger.
Well, you didn't know what was going on.
No.
There was so much wasted, boring time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what was going on. We don't need to even do a spoiler video because there's nothing really to spoil.
Exactly.
It's a basic cookie cutter plot. We just witness the guys before the accident, we see them after the accident, then they fight Doom, end.
Yeah.
That's the movie. I just spoiled it for you.
Exactly. It is literally the Hollywood format.
Yep.
And I mean, Doom looks like a light bright mannequin wrapped in like a melted tarp.
Pretty easy costume if you ever want to cosplay it.
It really is, but like when he's trapped in what they call Planet Zero, which is basically just the negative zone.
Yeah.
Like when he's trapped there, how does he get the cape and the hood?
I know, he comes out. I told this to Zach.
There's no plant life.
He wasn't there. There's like nothing there except rocks and all this like green lava stuff. Yeah. Which, if you watch the original trailer, it was red.
Yeah,
and then they changed it into green.
Lava.
So I think that maybe it's like, it looks too much like lava, we need to change it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, all of a sudden he shows up with the green classic Doctor Doom hoodie and cape. But it's like, where did they get that from? He was by himself for over a year. Right. Anyway, that's just one of the many problems.
And his powers are really ambiguous. You have no idea what he can actually do and what he's not capable of.
Yeah.
Because it seems like anytime you're like, I'm going to do this to him, he's capable of defending against it. It literally makes no sense.
Yeah, there's no limitations, which is just... But Doom is so in and out of the movie, though. That's why, I mean, it's just, everything's so rushed. And they skip ahead and they like leave out what could potentially be one of the coolest parts of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, the training montage.
Yeah,
because they just go 1 year later after the accident.
They do a building the machine montage, but they don't do we're gonna learn our powers montage.
Yeah,
which I think that would have been much more cooler to watch.
Oh yeah,
as a montage. I felt like overall though the cast is much better than the original with Ian Guffield and Michael Chiklis and Jessica Alba. I feel like all four of those actors, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan.
Miles Teller is a lot better as Mr. Fantastic than I thought, but I still don't like Miles Teller as an actor. I feel like any movie he's in needs to be held up by like better actors. And
We disagree on this, but
he's kind of phoning it in on this one, I feel, and I think that that's because of the script, and also because he's not Mr. Fantastic, he's Mr. Exposition.
yeah,
All of his lines literally explain the story to me.
that's his role. He stretches and then he tells us all that supposedly they don't think we know what's going on.
And he doesn't even stretch imaginatively. Like, it's really awesome when he does like uses his arms like Spider-Man's webs to like swing around.
Oh, it had the most horrific.
But then he does like this weird like punch thing, which is really stiff and makes literally no sense.
And then get ready. The probably one of the worst special effects I've ever seen was when he changed his face.
Yeah. Even the special effects in this were not
They're
largely
iffy.
impressive.
They came and gone. It was sometimes cool to watch. Sometimes really like we harken back 10 years in special effects.
Like the Thing is very impressive.
Yeah,
And then-
but you didn't like the voice. The voice doesn't have any power to it.
Well, I don't even honestly like Jamie Bell as Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
Like to me, the friendship between them just doesn't actually really get melded.
I felt in the beginning, but then after, I think like the first hour of the film was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then after that time jump, then the movie kind of went off and didn't know what it was.
Not
Which-
only that, but it just would have been so much like Reed and Ben are supposed to be really good friends, and it would be so much nicer if like Ben had actually been like a security guard at the Baxter building and they became friends there, and then it would actually explain why it's so important for Ben to go with them, because he's a security guy. If there's anything there that's dangerous, he can defend them.
Yeah.
But here it's just Reed gets drunk and it's just like, hey buddy,
Yes.
you want to go to another dimension? He's just like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but sure.
Yeah, I loved it. People, the Fantastic Four was built on a drunk decision.
It really was. Like it's almost like a college film.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you want to do this thing? And then they, like, yeah. That's how the Fantastic Four is born in this
Like
movie.
what is it? It kind of starts off like The Theory of Everything, where it's like a kid that's very smart and not very well understood, and then
It was like they colored character development.
yeah,
It was like there was character development, and then it stopped.
yeah.
There was like, they had a subplot with Doctor Doom being jealous of Sue Storm, and they never even finished.
Not even jealous, like creepy jealous, like restraining order jealous.
And we all know they end up getting married in the end, but they didn't even follow through on that. Like they hint at it a little bit, but I would thought by the end that she'd kiss him. I know I don't really like that in movies, but we know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just feel like there should have been some next level before the movie ended with those two.
And I mean,
But-
you know what? Honestly, I feel like Sue's character in general is kind of,
She's just there.
yeah, she's just there. Like, she doesn't do anything, and yet some of her powers are some of, like, the best ones that they actually have on the team. This kind of takes her back to, like, the early days when she was just damsel in distress, which is why I'm wearing my Furiosa shirt, because, you know what, if the movie's not going to have any sort of, like, womanly power, I'm going to wear a shirt that has some womanly power.
Yeah, but that's I think the most frustrating thing about this movie is there's so much awesome sprinkled throughout it, and then it doesn't. It's a movie that's exposition about how this team is built. Maybe the last 10 minutes, maybe they're actually working together, and it's still they don't even. There's no. We don't know nothing about these characters by the end of the movie.
And none of them have any reason to trust Reed,
Yeah.
because he abandons them.
And then leaves for no what's the point of him running away? I
Yeah.
don't know.
I have no idea. Like, he literally abandons his best friend and the new friends that he's made and the girl that he likes.
Yeah. Well, he was scared, but I just felt like it shouldn't have been that long of him running away.
And why was he stretching through the vent?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's stretching through a vent at one point, and it basically just ends up looking like he's crawling through a vent naked.
Yeah. It is weird. But that's the biggest thing. I mean, I felt some people are saying this is worse than Batman and Robin because at least that was campy, and this is trying to be dead serious the whole time.
And you can't do Fantastic Four serious, like we already said.
So the tone, I mean, if the tone was just going more into what they should be, if the editing, obviously there was a lot of studio interference, so that really made this
Oh, yeah.
movie horrible. That's the frustrating thing in the end, is that it could have been a really great movie and it ended up being just a big mess.
Yeah,
I recommend maybe checking it out when it comes out on rental just to see it, but don't spend $8-10 on this movie. You'll be upset that you did.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna call it. This is what I hope in the future. The Marvel gets it back, and Brad Bird directs it.
I think that
Because he basically already made a Fantastic Four movie, now it's The Incredibles.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
So that's my my dream Fantastic Four movie.
You know, I actually, if Marvel got the rights back, I wonder if Fantastic Four would actually work better as a Big Hero 6 style film, where
It
it's
would.
actually completely computer animated.
Well,
You
maybe.
know, it's a little bit more lighthearted. It can be more whimsical then, which is exactly what Fantastic Four needs.
Yeah. So Zach and I talked about it, and I think we are going to give it a 4.5 Fantastics out of 10.
Not so Fantastics.
Yeah, not so Fantastics.
4.5 poor CGI effects out of 10.
Yeah.
But I was so mad at the end of it that when it actually put the title page up on the screen at the end of the movie, I flipped the screen off.
He gave it the bird.
I did.
So we hope you enjoyed our public service announcement on the Fantastic Four.
Don't go see it.
We just don't waste your hard-earned cash on this movie.
Don't do
Maybe
it.
wait till Redbox or better Netflix. This is Jeff.
And I'm Zach.
Stay nerdy.